I was looking at that. And we're back!
And we're back!
We're gonna kick this off with a question from Peter Sidema. Can you use the cue place instead of kennel? You can use whatever cues you want. We utilize kennel because dogs are place and situationally oriented, and it simplifies the amount of words that we have to cram into everybody's brains when we're teaching them how to train dogs, as well as cram into the dog's brain. Kennel is 100% effective and efficient at teaching them to go someplace. So we try and keep things simple. Keep it simple, stupid, and use the same word.
That's what my family always used to say. Just kiss it.
Keep it simple. Good question.
Next question. This is a good one. I'm feeling we're coming into the spring, so there are a lot of puppy-based questions, which is great. Springtime is puppy time. So, Teliost_fishing. Sorry. Tell me how to say it next time, and I'll say it right. I'm getting a new poodle pointer pup in a few weeks and wanted to know what socialization activities you guys do with your pups. I'm concerned about taking him to NAVHDA training in days until he's had all of his puppy vaccinations at 16 weeks.
Good call.
But others bring their puppies at 10 to 12 weeks old.
Thank you
for the great videos. Socialization is very important, but timing of that socialization is also very important. We don't recommend taking puppies anywhere that dogs congregate until they are fully vaccinated at 16 weeks, which is dog parks, NAVHDA training days, AKC events, things like that, because your puppy doesn't have a fully developed immune system yet, and they are susceptible to things like parvo, distemper, that we definitely don't want our puppies getting. But
we've seen it firsthand.
Yes.
We've seen it firsthand. We had a dog that was...
Puppy had 12-week vaccination, hadn't had their 16-week vaccination yet. They were about 14 weeks old, went to an AKC hunt test, parvo 7 days later. Perfect, you know?
So,
it can happen.
Briefly explain that, why you're getting multiple rounds of vaccinations is because you're playing the guessing game of when mom's antibodies wear off. That could happen at 6 weeks, that could happen at 16 weeks, we don't know. So they vaccinate on a schedule so that when those maternal antibodies wear off, you've got the vaccine there to properly vaccinate.
Yep. So. Because any of the vaccinations that happen prior to mom's antibodies wearing off, you're just vaccinating to vaccinate, but that vaccination's not doing anything at that point. So,
very little. So.
Yes. So, but things to do that you can do with your puppy prior to them being 16 weeks old to continue socialization is anything new, and that's not just playing with kids. Going out, everyone always is like, well, they play with my kids. Well, that's good, but that's not all you need to be doing. They also need to know in new environments, like going through the tall grass, especially for hunting dogs, and being comfortable with that, up and down stairs, anything new, basically, that you are going to want them to be able to do as an adult. Maybe swimming, if it's the right time of year for that, starting a water introduction with your puppy, and then just some of the clicker training and basic puppy trainings that you can do.
Absolutely. Okay, next question is Buzz GSP. I think I pronounced that one right. I have a 10-month-old GSP. I'm guessing his name is Buzz. And he loses focus very quickly. Maybe your name's Buzz. He knows what I'm asking of him, but would rather ignore me. I've tried short sessions with kibble on an e-collar, and to no avail. Do you guys, what do you guys recommend to do? There's a couple things. If you are doing all of these things and it's not working, I'm going to say this as nicely as I can, you're probably doing something wrong. And the best way for us to help you with this is actually our online dog training community through Patreon. There's a link in the description. There's a link on our website. There's links all over the place. There may even be a link somewhere on the screen here. But if you sign up for that, it gives you the ability to actually video your training sessions. You throw that up on YouTube and share the link. We can watch it and say, here, this is the one little thing that...
This is the hole in your training.
This is what you need to be fixing. And then we can respond back to you with, yes, do this, don't do that, and help guide you along your training path. They go hand in hand then with the videos that we provide for free online. and that's going to be the best way that we can assist you through what is not going right with your 10-month-old. So thanks for asking. Again, it's our dog training community on Patreon.
Next question from LW_4H_Prez. I'm really excited to hear Ethan's answer to this one. If you had to choose any other breed to own, other than short hairs obviously, what would it be? I like these personal ones because, I mean, we always talk about training and so it's and hunting. So it's kind of fun to get a little personal here. Because there's no right answer.
I 100% know that we're not going to have the same answer. But if I were to go, so there's a couple things that go into mind. I can give you the long version of this because it's not an easy question. It's not.
You could make it easy and just like spit out a breed, but he's gonna give us the long-winded version.
Okay. So I like pointing breeds in general. I wouldn't switch to a flushing breed as my secondary, even though I do have a small soft spot in my heart for cockers.
I was just gonna say English.
I like little cockers. Sometimes I don't want a whole bunch of them. I wouldn't switch to that breed. Maybe have one around. Okay. So then we go over to, there are a lot of different pointing breeds that have a lot of old style, class style.
I know which one you're going with.
So you look at
with the English theme.
You going with the English thing? Yeah. So you go setters. There are a lot of really, really pretty English setters, Gordon setters, Llewellyn setters. You name a setter. Most of them have some really pretty to them. But at the same time, you take all that pretty and you wrap it up with hair. And hair is difficult to take care of. So cross those out. We're going to have to go something short breed, and I'm going to have to jump on well-bred English pointers.
I knew it. I know him so well.
Bird dogs. They are bird dogs. They're not the smartest bird dogs in the whole world, but damn it, they can stand on point and they can look good doing it.
Great answer. If I had to choose any other breed to own, what would it be? I can't choose between the two other breeds that I'd be interested in. I would be interested in Braque Français or Bracco Italianos because we worked with a few of them.
So cute.
So Braque Français are stinking adorable. They are so cute. They remind me still a lot of short hairs. They have a little bit different personality.
It's not venturing out much. They look almost identical.
People mistake them a lot of times for short hairs, but we worked with a few of them. I love their personalities. Super sweet, cute, have some quirkinesses about them that I've worked with, but I really like them. And then the Bracco Italianos, I also really like them. They are
droopy.
They're big and houndy, but I got to watch my first one run at Anavda.
That's Quigley.
That's Quigley.
Ah, Quigley.
Love Quigley. He is so beautiful.
Say hi if you get to watch this, Quigley. Say hi in the comments below.
Yes, and beautiful dog, well put together. And when I saw his breed on the running order, I was like, oh great, this is gonna be like watching paint dry. I've not heard any good things about Bracco Italianos. They're gonna be slow and plotty and nope, he was not. He covered ground well, he had a great nose. He is a duck retrieving fool now. He is a very nice Bracco, but I've also got to see some more runs since then, and they always do a really nice job that I've seen, and you can't help but love their big, droopy, squishy faces. So I would say those would be my two other breeds. Yep.
Got it. Good answer. We have Wes_Geed3. What way do you find it best to have pointing dogs run? Closer to you, inside 50 yards, further outside of that, and hold point for longer. For context, we have two English pointers. Represent
your next breed.
One doesn't seem to stay very close too often, but the other does. So you got two pointers. One is close range and one's further range, and you want to know our opinion on what to do. All of that, in my opinion, depends on where you're hunting and what you're hunting. If we are running bigger country, I let the dogs run big. If we are running closer, tighter, thicker cover, keep the dogs a little closer. Pheasant hunting up north, we usually keep dogs within 30 to 50 yards-esque. If we are running pheasants around here, there's also quail involved in that, and I let the
Or
dogs.
when you were out in Montana?
Montana, we ran on sharp tails. I let them run as big as they wanted to, because I didn't want to walk over to the next 3 knolls to see if there were birds over there. I let Nix do that for me, and Vex do that for me. So, a lot of the range depends on what you're hunting, where you're hunting, and then also how much you can trust your dog. Some dogs don't deserve to run big and free and wild because they aren't going to hold point or do what they're supposed to. When you get a dog that's honest and trained well, I let Vex run wherever he wants because he will literally stand there forever. Not forever, a long time. So, great question.
Next question, it's a puppy question from Crumps1 on Instagram. How many days after bringing home a new pup at 8 weeks do you start charging the clicker? We start puppy training right away, so the first day you're bringing your puppy home, I'm probably not going to immediately start training. It's been a long day, we've been traveling. But the next day, with their meal, I'm going to start trying to charge the clicker.
This is from Emolson13. What are your tips for someone getting their first puppy this May? Our tips are to go to our YouTube channel, click on the playlist section, check out Quest, Rogue, Fox, Spriggs playlists. You've got 4 start to finish with different personalities and even the different breed in there of what we do, all live-esque training sessions, so you get to see the teaching of each individual step, what order we did them in. We list, and we got better at this as we went along because everybody wants to know how old all the dogs are, but we got better at listing ages of the dogs in those sessions to give you a rough idea of what you should be following along, and then also signing up for Patreon so that we can help guide you a little bit better.
Next question from On Point Motorsports. That one was a really easy one to say. What ear protection do you use? I don't like plugs because I can't hear the dog and others with me that well. We use Wild Ear Master Series hearing protection. It's an electronic hearing protection, takes little batteries that you put in hearing aids. They're custom molded to fit your ear. They've got volume controls up and down, which are separate for each ear.
As well as 4 levels for hearing loss, I think. So
okay.
Can help with that.
So we like those because yes, you can hear dogs moving through the cover, you can hear birds flushing, you can hear people talking, but then anything over, is it 80 decibels?
85, I think.
85 decibels,
82 and
it drops down. He's just throwing numbers out there now. But it drops down so you can still hear that noise, but it's at a much lower decibel level that's not going to cause hearing damage.
And because they're custom fit, they feel comfortable and you can wear them literally all day.
Yeah.
When I guide, I take them out at lunch and then put them back in, and I'll wear them, 6 to 8 hours a day total. So it's very comfortable. They're an absolutely fantastic product and a great company that stands behind them. They're available on our website.
Yep. Next question. Ashlyn_Nasanen. Any advice or tips on an insanely bad bird dog? Insanely bad.
Insanely bad.
Eating everything, never slows down. Went through puppy training school, didn't work. We have a shock collar fence, but that doesn't faze her and she still runs away. Goes crazy when she sees people and other dogs, jumps on you after you tell her down, eats food off the counter. She's a female about 14 months old. This dog mom is going crazy.
I want to see this dog.
And I also really think that you should change your Instagram name to Insanely Bad Bird Dog.
That would be a good tag.
Yep. However, it sounds like your dog needs some more training. I know that you said they've already been to a training school and it didn't work. I'm here to tell you that not all training programs are created equally. I would say that we do a great job with obedience training and have had a lot of success.
Because we have a team.
But we have a really good team,
Yeah.
that the dog can learn to handle for multiple people. But like I said, not all training programs are created equally, so finding a trainer that's going to be able to specialize and customize their program to help you with your goals will be important. But also, I kind of want to know what your dog does on a regular basis for mental stimulation, physical exercise, that sort of thing, because typically when you have an insanely bad dog, it's because they're bored. And that could be that they need to burn off more energy. These dogs are sporting breeds, high energy. They need to be able to have an outlet for that energy that's not destructive and naughty. And it sounds like right now your dog might not have that outlet, and so they're using everything else as that outlet. And they're not doing it to be malicious, they're not doing it to piss you off and make mom go crazy, but they're trying to do something to entertain themselves because they're bored. So you can just find a way to incorporate physical and mental stimulation into their day, and that would go a long way to helping calm them down.
And to be fair, not all short hairs or not all bird dogs or not all dogs in general are created equal. So you're gonna probably, breeding has a lot to play with it, but you're probably starting with the higher end of the spectrum and then struggling a bit, which is making it even seem worse. I'm probably off the screen there. But if you can take that laid back dog and you can make them naughty, or you can take the really naughty dog and struggle to keep them from being naughtier. So, and that just comes from dogs with different personalities. But good question. Carthus K9s is 2 years old, too old to start training with a standard poodle.
No, it's not too old. 2 years old is not too old to start any training, let alone formal retrieving work. A lot of people don't know that standard poodles were originally bred to be retrieving dogs, duck dogs. They got a really great coat for it typically. But 2 years old is not too old. Next question from Chelsea Murphy. When purchasing a puppy, what are your must-have toys and items other than, of course, the food dishes and crate? Also, do you prefer the little cot you use over a doggy bed for in the house? So, like I said, there's a lot of puppy questions this time around. I think people are getting spring puppies. So, crate, leash, puppy collar, dog dishes are important. Proper play toys. We try and avoid squeaky toys because they can create naughty, munching, chewing, rolling, hard retrieving habits. So, finding a non-squeaky toy is tough. Otherwise, otherwise you can get a squeaky toy, but just kill the squeaker. Get it out of there, or make sure it doesn't squeak anymore. But rope toys are a good option.
Jess is trying to patent a squeaker killer that you can.
It would be a great idea. Really great idea. And then as your puppy gets a little bit older, you can get some more training tools, puppy bumpers, e-collars, things like that. A clicker would be a number one thing to have right away because, like we've mentioned before, starting clicker training right away is important to us. And the little cot that we use over a dog bed, the reason that we use those, and they're called Kuranda dog beds, is because they create a distinct boundary between being on a bed and being off the bed. Those pillow-style doggy beds, it's really easy for a puppy to be napping, and then they're off the bed, and then they're like, oh, I'm not on the bed anymore, I'm free. So that would be something that we would also recommend is a Kuranda dog bed. They're very durable. We love them. Any other must-have puppy items?
I think we covered it.
Yeah, puppies are pretty simple. You don't need a
size
puppy
appropriate
food.
crate. Let's go with that.
Okay, size appropriate.
So we've had very little luck with your dog can grow with the crate or dividing it up. Just get a small one, then get a medium one, and you can, unless you're trying to travel with them, buy the cheapo ones. I mean, traveling with the cheapo crates is not the safest thing in the whole world because they're cheapos, but get this gradually, and it depends on your dog. Some dogs are better, but get a size appropriate crate.
It'll help with potty training.
Yes.
But I think that's probably all the time we have for more questions. Okay.
I got one more.
One more.
Horse Swamp Labradors. It says, after force fetch, my 6-month-old lab is still having trouble with light mouthing, cigaring bumpers. Should I just go back to the table or for more work, or will this work itself out? Dog has a lot of retrieving desire and is very excited about retrieving. Well, I know that labs as a whole mentally are treated, trained, and developed differently than the way that we do short hairs, but I've worked with a lot of labs, and I can tell you, I don't know of very many dogs that are going to be mentally stable enough to truly understand a full formal retrieving process at or before 6 months of age. So what I would do is put some emphasis on hold repping, that would be it, and then revisit when you hit that 8 to 12 month range with your dog, the full process again, start from square one and work through it. Because when you finish, you shouldn't be having issues with light mouthing, rolling, or, cigaring can happen on occasion, But the light mouthing and rolling is not something that should happen. But I think that you need to probably just wait a little bit longer for the dog to become a little more mentally stable for training like that. Yeah.
Because I honestly did the same thing, made the same mistake with my puppy Nix. I started his formal retrieving work at I think 5 or 6 months old because I was like, he's ready. That's the next step. He was mentally mature and he was a great little retriever, but I was like, well, that's the next step to make him a better retriever.
Yeah.
And he loved to retrieve so much that I was barely able to utilize the table and the collar conditioning and things like that because he was just doing it.
Or proof it.
That's what I was going to say, is because I didn't have an opportunity to really proof that he understood how to shut the collar off by doing what he'd already learned, which was to fetch. And so it was more of I was a conditioning process, just almost a fun conditioning process. And he came out of it doing.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No, it isn't a bad thing. But there was definitely a time when he was a little bit older that I had to revisit my proofing of the collar on the ground with some retrieving drills because it had just been a fun game for him at 6 months old that he did well, and it was good to develop those good behaviors and continue molding them and conditioning them, but the collar wasn't proofed. And if you're having mouthing issues, cigaring issues, things like that, if the collar was truly proofed and your puppy had a complete understanding of the formal retrieving work, you would be able to correct that with the collar. But at 6 months old, probably not quite there, just like Nix wasn't. So, great question.
Great question. All right, guys, I think that's all we've got for this week. Thanks for tuning in. And again, thank you for all of your questions. We appreciate everybody that subscribes. You all help make this channel possible. We look forward to what you have to ask next week.